I just got yelled at by my guides, your guides, you, me, that inner voice, whatever, to do a reading. So I got stuff to do, but we're gonna do it because apparently there's something that needs to be said. I don't know. Again? No. I just did a 2-minute video where it was supposed to be the introduction to this, and I was like, I don't want to do this. And I was explaining why I even was like being nudged to sit down and do this, and it was ridiculous. Now it's like pointless even having like not finished with the other video. It's the same card, the Knight of Cups. What if I shuffle? Oh, there we go. I wonder if I put this here. Nope. That's better. Well, never mind. Okay. This is the weirdest message. Give me a minute and I'll start talking. I don't want to go through each and every card and give you each definition of it. Most of you already know. I want to give you the exact message, but I want it to be like crystal clear and precise. Because so far to me, this, and I'm certain, or to some of you, it looks like an offer coming from someone who's not really content with themselves and dealing with a lot of issues, but they've made the decision to come forward because they want to start a contract, an agreement, some form of binding document, binding contract, but not in a negative way, because they see things in a different way now. They've been illuminated and there's no indecision anymore. They've left whatever they've needed to leave behind, and they're going back for what they shouldn't have left back in the first place. You see, it's like, and before this was an indecision to leave or not, but now it's a decision to go back to something. And then what the risk that wasn't taken was the risk of leaving something behind and losing it. So the Fool isn't taking the risk to lose something. The Fool is going back, having been enlightened, seeing the agreements and the problems in some situation and making an offer. And the other message that's coming through is the offer that's coming, had it been like this in a previous vibration, it would have been something that you might have had been confused about accepting or not. But the way it's coming in now, because of your vibration, is that it's coming in with an enlightened, emotionally intelligent carrier, okay? And the Nine of Cups is usually, you know what it is. So it's not about wishes not being granted. It's about the addiction aspect of the Nine of Cups, where it's overindulgence and, a sense of arrogance and pride at what you have, but it's like not gratitude. You get your wishes and you're like, yeah, thanks, whatever, bye. Like totally ungrateful. So this offer coming isn't something that you should act ungrateful for, because it's something that is being pulled up from the dark to be shown in a very like factual way. Like this offer coming might seem like it's like not too good to be true, but like there's something weird going on, like there's some form of, and I'm explaining this to you because there's a ambiguity to this, and I'm seeing in front of, like, as if they're standing right there, 3 people in various like school teacher outfits, like almost like a Roman but school teachery. It's very, very strange. Like one of them is wearing a gray pinstripe suit kind of, but it's almost like made out of fabric from the Roman era or like the Atlantean era. It's like very old guy. And this offer is like it's already been decided. This person or this energy that's coming back isn't the same energy that seemed to be what you perceived as what. There you go, ding for confirmation. It's not what you think it is. That's what I keep hearing with this, and that's what I keep being shown. They're showing me this like fishbowl, but the fishbowl is full of black water, and they're saying put your hand in it. And when they're saying that to me, it's like I feel a certain hesitation to move my hand towards it, but at the same time, all three of them are assuring the astral mind me, the message that they're relaying is the assurance of there's a gift in there. Within that dark, the thing that the unacceptance of the offer being brought forward would be due to fear within yourself, because the offer itself, regardless of what your programming states it as, the offer itself factually is something that's going to help you bloom, and it's very passionate. Except the only thing is the chains that bind you to the concept that it's going to be a disaster, a fiery, disaster of control and just lust and addictions. Like that part is being tempered by the King of Swords, because it's being brought into a sense of a justice and truth, not a cold, harsh one, not a manipulative one, because beneath it is the decision card being reversed. There is no indecision, which means there's no confusion, which means the energy coming towards you isn't the energy of darkness. It might appear that way, but it's not, because there's no confusion here. There is enlightenment. It's they're showing me a dark hooded figure walking towards a like a child in a white robe, and the child's reaching up to the dark hooded figure, and the dark hooded figure is reaching down and bending to the child. And once they touch fingers, it's like the dark figure becomes the child and the child becomes a full-grown woman. It's like they turn into, like, they help each other reveal who they are. This person, this offer, this energy coming towards you is one that's going to help you see a path you didn't take in a different light. A decision that wasn't taken that is now being shown in a different perspective. It's like the wish that wasn't made, you're being shown what it could have been like. And the energy that's behind that isn't an energy of manipulation, it's an energy of acceptance of what wasn't seen. You see the magician, he's using all of these tools, right? Nature itself, light, energy, the chakras, infinity itself, which is source. Like, they're utilizing that from like the ancestor side of things to bring this energy about. But depending on where you are, like if each cup is a vibrational scale on your frequency, depending on where you are, you're going to experience it slightly differently. So for some it could be an addiction, for some it could be a court case, for some it could be some problems with a father or mother figure, or a Capricorn or husband, or a perceived authority figure. But this isn't on a global level. This is very personal feeling. Like the fishbowl that I was being shown, it was very personal. It's one hand at a time. It's one heart at a time almost. To go to a place within the emotional depths, the moon and the sky, which looks like the water. To go within that which you thought you didn't want and see the opportunity that could have been there in a different light, and to bring a sense of clarity, truth, justice, fairness, like a case closed or case opened kind of way. Like the case isn't a cold case. You notice how he's sitting there like encased, like that stone is encased behind him with the butterfly, and his robe looks really cold, but above that cold robe is the red one and then the purple one. It's like this person isn't cold. They're tempering the fear within them regarding their own addictions and problems to create a warm communication. You see how the warmth is in the same hand of the sword? It's a warm communication from a masculine energy that creates a sense of nobility within both the listener and the speaker of that message. It's like something is being brought to attention regarding someone's inner feelings that they now see in a different way. And they bring communication regarding, you see the two swords? A choice that wasn't made. One direction is here, the thoughts. The other direction, like what could have been this way, what could have been this way. Two paths, a decision that you had between maybe two people or three people and you were caught in the middle. Or maybe there was like, no, the message is really clear. This vibratory shift that's been happening in the recent few days, recent couple of weeks actually, that's been like slowly ramping up, like one cup after another, after another, after another. Now comes the next cup, but the next cup isn't in a golden cup. It's in a cup that has like skulls on it and horns and things, but it's an actual cup. But once you start, you know, this is inner communication. So once you start inner communication externally, either with yourself or a friend or a family member or someone you work with, then the timeline almost seems like that it straightens itself out. You see that? Some branch connecting from choice path to choice path creates a path to a choice that wasn't chosen due to some negative energy that left people feeling ill at ease with each other. But now, due to the vibratory shift of like more than just one element at play, this isn't just about you, this is about the collective you. Because of the energetic shift, it's like an old relationship, old connections, old ancient soulmate type of things are being brought back to clear up karmic baggage. And like I'm seeing shaking hands and hugging and like walking away. I'm seeing others like embrace, and there's balloons flying. There's a lot of children reuniting. There's like people walking away towards different cities. It's like a change is coming, and it's first going to appear to you in your own personal private life to see how you respond to something simple as communicating to someone before the world around you and the source at play in your guides start shifting the location you live in, or the grocery store you shop at, or the quantum jumps that we make, and then there's like the street name is different. They're kind of testing the beings that are just waking up to see if you're ready for big change or little change, depending on how you treat someone coming to you. And this person that's coming has a lot of inner turmoil. A lot. Like there's grapes here. This person probably drinks a lot of wine. There's a lot of cups upside down. Maybe there's like beer bottles or something, or they have some form of addiction. Maybe they don't really take care of themselves physically, like they just lounge around in PJs all day and they don't brush their hair. It's just like a hat on their head or something. Or there's like too much emotions behind them. You see all that water underneath the cups, or that blue fabric, but there's no water in the cups. It's like false, like it's discontentment, like a false reality. And this emotional message that's coming from a knight in shining armor and a white cup is showing you exactly how displeased you've been with your life, because you've listened to this energy within you, or the collective has listened to that energy, and they're now seeing how much they're not happy with, and how much of what they're not happy with actually doesn't even need to be there. You see the cold logic in it, but it's warm and kind of wise, like with the purple, the color of royalty, and like wisdom, and the golden crown on top of the head, and the butterfly in the back. It's like you see the problem, and you know you played a part in it, you accept it, you're not punishing yourself over it, you allow it to flow, and the mistake becomes the next pillar you rise on. and illuminate yourself and those around you, which then means what comes back? Something you didn't let go of. Something you hid deep within and you buried it and you pretended no one saw it. But that decision to bury it is being returned to. Whatever it was that you thought you could just waste your time with and not look within the emotions and the anger of you to see where the balance point was and what the lesson behind both those emotional frequency extremes are. Like, what was the lesson, behind all the problems? If you know the problems and you're repeating the problems in your head with the hangman, right side up, and you're saying, oh, I had to walk away from this, it was toxic, I went a new beginning, I went a different path. Well, there's something coming back, and it's not meant to, it's not something you're obligated to. Okay, it's like a karmic partner, or there's energy that you have expelled in your life that is coming back in the shape of a human who is shamed. You see this? Like, that word shame just jumped out of my mouth and I had to repeat it. Someone is coming back who feels ashamed of what they've done. Like, they couldn't look at themselves, at themselves. They had to look at someone else to see themselves. Like, we all do this. So when this person comes back, be like the King of Swords, but not the person you want to avoid. Like, you don't have to be emotional, but you don't have to be cold. You don't have to be logical, but kind of balance it all out. Just be authentically, transparently yourself, and there's a card that's been flipped out over here and I haven't looked at it. Look, your ancestors, the energies of creation, have been working behind the scenes, root by root, connecting trees and things together, families, bloodlines, connections, tribes, to bring about this one deep wound within yourself. I almost want to call it a core wound, like a solar plexus, sacral, in between there, kind of like a deep hidden garden within yourself that you don't go to anymore. I know personally, I'm being asked to share this with you. When I was younger, I used to run off to a forest preserve and just chill out there by myself. It was so peaceful for me to just sit there and hear the birds and see the bunnies and random little critters everywhere. I just sit by the stream for hours, from sunrise to sunset. And it was 1985 Germany. It was so beautiful. And that was back in the time where we still drank from the water hose. This connection with you is old and ancient. And it's not just a family member. I'm getting the vibe of this is someone that's really, there was a lot of stuff between this connection from past lifetimes, and not just from, sorry about the clicking, my bracelet keeps clicking on this. It's a past life drama, a past life contract that ended due to narcissistic mentalities, and it's being brought back to the surface to go back to the choice that wasn't made, to make peace once and for all, whether it would have worked or wouldn't have worked. Or it's like a generational thing. Either this enlightenment connects those branches, or it separates them, because that choice is still there. Remember the indecision between what you, a past choice you made, or a past choice that was made in a previous lifetime. Hangman always pushes things in a boundary of Pisces, so we can't just think about it in a linear 3D way of this lifetime. It's been multiple lifetimes, deep roots. So now it's up to you. Are you going to make the same decision as before, or are you going to decide to free your entire family tree from this curse of being this? Controlling everything in your life, but doing it with a cold heart and not being happy anyway. So doing this creates a ripple effect like the black pool, right? Like you can't see how much the effect is gonna, like how effective it's gonna be. You don't know what the path ahead is, but you're just being asked to trust that the thing you perceived as the soul shrinker might actually be part of your soul family, and they needed your help. This energy needed this energy. This energy was lost with this energy and had to be in that energy until it could temper itself. Once that occurs, this energy is able to see this light more clearly, almost becoming like it almost gets reconnected. You see that? It's like universal energy coming down from the ancestors to you to illuminate an aspect of the collective and energy of, like, see, the raw. It's not just your energy or my energy. It's something that has to not move forward into the future anymore. And in order for the future to have true peace at some point, or even now, because time is non-existent, this energy has to be redeemed. So if we're going to look at this as Satan or the demiurge or, you know, betrayers or spies or fallen whatever, that archetype, okay, not a person, that archetype, the energy of that archetype carried through the bloodlines. It wasn't just one person that was doing this. It was multiple different cups, multiple different life experiences. Now it comes to you. You are the point here. We've all been breaking generational curses. It isn't just about one person anymore. It's about the unity of the all, which includes this. And what we're being asked to do is to put away the explosiveness of what can and is rationally and logically justified to do in the presence of that, but to not do that, to use that explosive energy instead in revealing what the soul shrinker is itself ashamed of. It's like death itself. Remember earlier I had that vision, that image being shown to me of the dark hooded figure coming towards the child. This could be the child. And it was just like an orphan, or like a you know how in the Gnostic text it says that Sophia had an abortion? This kind of looks like an aborted archon, doesn't it? Coming back in like a form that might seem very explosive to people, or very frightening, or very strange, but it's being brought back to join the fold because it's part of the family. And the only way that this can be cleansed is by the light of Source, by love and truth, by light. So in order for light to cleanse something, it must be revealed first. It must stand within the light, which is logical, simple, but that logic can be manipulated through fears and addictions. So the collective is being asked to not judge what appears to be a monster as a monster, even if death itself faces you without facing you. It is only coming to you as the light to be redeemed back into life itself, because even death is tired of that energy of death. It's like, do you see this? Look at all these fives. 53, 8, back to 1, 11, 8, 1, 11. So I want to say January 8th, 2021, but I also want to say within the next 1 to 8 days, there's going to be a massive, massive, massive revealing of shame. Remember the word shame earlier, of people that betrayed many. Not just one person, but like all the betrayers are going to come out of the woodworks within the next 1 to 8 days. Look, another 5, 2, there's a 7, number of God, faith, and all coming back to 1. So all that apocalypse stuff that people are talking about, I think what this message is, and I'm being shown this by another guide now, who is showing this kind of energy. It's like a pixie guide, like a little fae creature. Look, number 3, working together. It's like all these, like, look at this. That's what I'm being shown here. Look, this little critter right here. If this little critter was abused by some other little critter, wouldn't it look like the soul shrinker? Right? So, like, who are we to judge the soul shrinker when the soul shrinker used to be that? And it became this because of this, which it felt because of this, like, you know, interchangeable, intertwined. Like, it was all this law of attraction cycle of misery for these ancient beings that go back to the stars. Like, that looks like a floating star. Like, these beings are old and ancient. It's like they're coming back to, look, another 11. They're coming back to complete. Like, ascended master is coming back almost. Look, another 11. Could you even imagine if an ascended master came to you looking like that? Would you be anyone to judge them, right? Like, you'd be like, oh my God, let's get the soap, let's clean this. Like, they're hiding some light within them that's remaining of what they were. This could have been the loun. I mean, you ever seen someone like really cry and they like make a droopy face and their eyes get all big and like sad and puppy doggy and they're like just kind of trembling and it's like a little, ugh, I don't even think about it. Like, this could have been that loun, and he or she unconditionally loved somebody so much that they ended up being left in like the amoeba pond of the pool or something. Like, these beings go way back. 11, 11, 7, 8, 1. 11, 11, 7, 8, 1. It's not about the 7, 8, 1. It's about what's being skipped between the 7, 8, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. The countdown. Oh my God, what are you guys telling me? Countdown to what? Am I any way accurate about a countdown? Oh my God. I am so glad I'm recording this right now. Holy mother of phoenixes. The countdown to a... What have I told you previously about the singers? Like the singers, the singer of healing. It is the singer that fills every cup, everywhere, in all infinity and eternity. The singer of transfiguration is the singer that is the if consciousness imagines, like consciousness imagines everything, the singer of transfiguration is the first musical note consciousness itself imagined itself hearing that transformed it into all of creation. The root, the soul, the sacral, the solar, the heart, all of those beings that were stuck in that bandwidth are now, within the next 11 days, I venture to say, one by one, a lot of people are going to start really, really being transformed inside and out, physically, mentally, spiritually, in ways that nobody seems to comprehend. Like, look into the wings of this phoenix. Do you see that? Like, I'm being asked to really point this out to you. It looks like shards, doesn't it? Like comets and stars flying out. Nothing can stop your soul and your consciousness. Do you see that face right there? The being, the skull of you, the core of who you are, and all of those beings that we've perceived as soulless ones and NPCs and all of them, every single one of any light, ever created is going to be transformed by the essence, the very consciousness of consciousness itself, imagining transfiguration for all of reality. Like each and every person, one by one, is going to somehow experience this, apparently, or supposedly. And depending on your vibratory rate, it's going to affect you differently. For those up there, they might not even notice anything. Like it could be a normal, boring day, like completely nothing happened. You know, the ones who are in their heads, the ones who've ascended to like the highest realms, the ones who are on earth and they're doing all the spiritual, like light work, like those people are somehow becoming the space. Like they won't feel the explosiveness. They're like zenned out in the space that they're holding for this transformation to occur. Whereas the ones who were without the heart space open, those are being illuminated from within. And these four centers also carry a lot of control issues, addictions, shame, guilt, relationship issues, money issues, physical body issues. It's like, boom, suddenly everything changes and becomes better. And the card spread was constantly pointing to me with the guide speaking about how it may seem dark, but it's not. I'm being asked to share this. Do not feed it fear. Instead, allow it. It's almost like a light being turned on in a room. You're not in the dark, the light just turned on. I'm being asked to repeat that again. You are not in the dark. You are not falling. The light has already been turned on. It's simply being translated by your eyes and allowed into your body to the depths of what you can comfortably accept and handle. So it's all being done with grace. I'm being asked to share this, like tell you it's being done with grace. So let's get the grace cards and see what they got to say, because I need my cherry cola and it's in the fridge, and the fridge is over there, and I'm thirsty because all these guides are talkative and kind of annoying me right now, no offense. Strength and perception. Okay, super clear. Have strength that the perception you perceive is inaccurate. Don't look at what you will be looking at, because it is not accurate. It's almost like the wool being pulled over your eyes. Don't look at the wool moving, because it'll look like a snowstorm. And then people will say winter is coming. It's not winter, it's the wool being pulled over your eyes. Like removed from that so you can see clearly exactly what you were looking at without looking at the destruction. You're seeing the after effects of the wool being pulled out. Like somebody that is being, like someone colorblind, closing their eyes and someone else putting glasses on them that allows them to see the color spectrum. And then they open their eyes and they see, and they're like, now take a breath. And throughout that looking of that moment where you're taking that breath, do not respond in fear. Oh, I'm also being asked to say that this is almost similar to seeing an alien in the mirror. If you looked in the mirror and you saw yourself suddenly as an alien being that you don't recognize, like suddenly you're a cat being from Lyra, or you're a tall Pleiadian, but normally you're like, you know, a hobbit, and suddenly you're an elf. Like, don't panic in that moment, because it's not what's really there. Your eyes are just like the sleep is being rubbed out of your eyes. So give it a moment and breathe. You see how her thoughts, her mind are veiled? Like when that moment comes where your mind wants to panic, you see that stone? It's a moonstone. Embrace the feminine energy within you and utilize the masculine to calm the feminine. Become the transmuter of that energy when you feel that panic. Breathe in, be the husband to the panic, and be the nurture to the anxiety. And then what you're looking at will become clear. The perception will become 2020. See the past through the lens of grace. All that occurs is designed to support our spiritual evolution. I accept, I allow. I accept, I allow because I trust God. Because the God outside is everything, and everything is what I am made of. And the thoughts inside me, the consciousness inside me is God. So I am God experiencing God. Change your perception. Everyone that came to you was God with a different mask, helping you grow into the being you are becoming. This is just another step. So have that strength to face your fear. Every challenge is a blessing in disguise, a gift that makes us stronger, more conscious, and ultimately more alive. Wow. What was said earlier through me regarding the death wanting to come back to life because it's tired of being death. Like if you saw the embodiment of death in front of you, like you'd have to pause for a moment, right? Like you take that gasping moment. In that moment, don't feel like you're prey. Don't feel like you're a victim. Don't feel like you're facing the devil. Because in truth, what you're facing is an aspect of yourself. Like the evil witch from Snow White is what I'm seeing, like a shrouded evil witch walking towards Snow White with an apple, but she's bringing the apple and it's an actually organic apple. And Snow White's like, "Nuh-uh, we did this before," and like explodes and shoos the old lady away. But the old queenie witch is like, "I was just trying to make peace." And it all has to do with perception based on past experiences regarding choices that were made and others that weren't made, and pathways that could have been, and timelines that should have been, so on and so forth. It's all being brought to clarity by the Knight of Cups, who has sat in the background inconspicuously, just holding that cup up to fill the other 9 cups, from the 8 of Cups to the 9 of Cups to the Knight bringing the 10th cup. But the cup doesn't have the water you think it does in it. It's become more sacred, and it's going to become even more sacred after it interacts with someone of your vibration. So allow grace to flow through you so that the solar plexus, the sacral chakra, the root are in alignment with source and the heart, so that the ground you stood on becomes the sky you soar into to rebalance yourself and realign with what's really there. Or to free yourself of all your self-imposed baggage and to only take what's truly important to you. Purity, yourself and your friends, your family, your emotions, your experiences, and the stability and trust and faith of knowing that an entire planet is beneath you, and no matter how much you fall, you still fall onto her or into the heart of God through space. There's nothing to fear. So however this plays out for you, do it with gentleness. This person coming to you, this energy that's coming to you, feels very afraid to communicate to you. Feels intimidated. It feels like it's walking towards that. Or this feels like it's about to make this an offer, and it's like, "Hey, I'm just trying to ask you out on a date." And this one's like, "Yeah, that's cool, come on." And this one's like, "Oh, I didn't even think you'd say that." And this one's like, "No, it's cool, come on. I grew up, I forgive you." And he's like, "Oh, all right, let's go." And then when they do that, the devil suddenly seems to appear as the fool. Like relieved. Happy. And this is all your ancestors working through this. This message, this energy coming to you is energy that you sent out before that's returning to you. It is not a new page coming to you. It is a page you turned already. See him pointing to the page you turned already, and behind what he's pointing at is the Christmas tree that I got from the grocery store that says "Season's Greetings." Sea, suns, See the suns greet. See the suns greet you with a gold ribbon. There's little heart-looking things. There's little orbs over here that's like suns. There's roots that I was talking about, nature. See a sun. And then there's like money involved. There's like a... Anyway, I'm getting way too into this. Like ever since this... By the way, the reading's done. They just left the room. Like I just saw them all poof. In the recent week, like I feel like a highway's been opened inside me, and there's no speed limit, and I don't know what to do with it. So I am asking, and thanking you for your patience while I figure out how to use these variations of gifts we all have. That this specific gift, this channeling gift, I've denied for a very long time, and it builds up in like bursts, and then it like comes out of me, and then it goes back, and then it comes back, and it's like an ebb and flow, but of like really intense energy. And since the last week, I've been so like done with resisting who I am and what I do and what I look like and all that stuff, that it's just been pouring through me, like everything. I can see so much, and I'm like, oh my god, there's so much, but they're still there. Like, people are like, oh, it's the end of the world. Like, no, it's not. It's the end of thinking this world was actually the world we were in. Like, we're still gonna have shops, we're still gonna have, like, a fun, beautiful, like, cafes and gardens and all of that stuff. It's just the pointless excesses. Like, we all know what they are. If everyone's alive on Earth, and we all know we're God, and we all know we're connected through the roots and our ancestors and all the dimensions, why would we fight each other? And if we have all the resources and we can manifest anything we want with a thought, an action, an intention, an emotion, all of things that we have within our bodies, what exactly is the point of anything else? Just have fun with your life, right? Be kind to each other and love each other, and like create new technology that's beautiful, and new ways of creating homes and houses and spaceships. Like, the only conflict that there should be is the conflict of like, how much better can we make this idea? Like, how many different methods can we improve on something? Anyway, may this serve you, because I feel like I've been talking forever. And I can hear my voice change throughout the readings, which has been very fascinating to me. Because I had messed up my vocal cords in 2015 or 2016. And I've been really practicing a lot by singing, trying to get my voice right. But when I'm channeling, it's like there's parts of what's being said through me that comes through a voice that seems like I don't need to be healing my throat. It's already healed. It's almost like the devil card, like a self-imposed mental chain around myself. I don't know. I think like a lot of us are realizing a lot of really basic things about ourselves that are gifts that we all have, but we all have them in different capacities. Like Power Rangers, or like the X-Men. Like, they're all mutants, but they all have different abilities. And when they're together, they're stronger. When they're alone, they're like gods. But they're not going around destroying things. They're actually going around putting things back in order, Like real structure, real stability, real nature and abundance and prosperity. And like, you want to live with transhumans? Go for it. Like, all that technology came from nature. You're not really transhumanism anything. It's still from nature. Even if you made plastic, that plastic was made by nature, and it's from God, because it's literally God. So I mean, it's like you're aether bending, the fabric of reality, and then you're turning one aspect of reality into a weapon and the other into a shield, and you're playing pretend swords with yourselves, like sword and shield fighting. Like, who are you really hurting? And this message is almost like to God itself, to itself. Like, you're not fooling anybody, God. Just unmask yourself and be God to everybody, because you're already everybody. You're everything, you're everywhere, so just freaking do it. All at once. No special person anymore. No, like, follow the leader type of stuff. No. Everybody wake up. Just wake up. It's fine. Like, I'm there, and it's freaky as hell, and it's fine. It would be really nice if we can all go together, because I have 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and I'm like waiting for the rest of everyone that's me pushed out to catch up like a rubber band string. Oh man. I'm gonna go. I want my cherry coke. Bye.